speed, HR. Fire in the hole!
Whoa, what an intro. As you can see on today's episode, we face a behemoth of a ridden. Welcome back for the second installment of the full story of Back for Blood. To recap real quick, we are seen delivering supplies to Ren against Philip's wishes, as it would seem. During the delivery, we learned that Mom's son Jason's death may have had something to do with Philip's, and that may be the reason for Ren's departure from Philip's command. We also learned that Ren's group believes the collapse is over, but as we see shortly into our meetup, that is in fact in still full swing. During our meetup, we see Ren get taken out by Ridden, and we then have to fight our way out and eventually end up into the Meadows Hotel, where we see that the safe room that Ren and his survivor sub isn't so safe anymore. After leaving the safe room, we make our way through the Meadows Hotel and across the tops of semi-truck trailers into our next safe room on our way to Fort Evans Tunnel, which is to where today's episode picks up. Let's see where the story takes us today.
It's all right. Are you injured? Do you need any help?
Didn't ask you to be here. Best you went. The door's clearly marked. Unless you're buying. Just get what you need and get out.
Grabbing what we need real quick. Let's get a health kit. Some grenades. This should be good. Welcome back to the full story of Back for Blood. This is the second safe room so far. We are on Act 1, Level 2, Tunnel of Blood. And just a quick look around. We see some graffiti. And it's almost like someone is almost went insane, like an insane asylum room or something. And as we entered earlier, we have seen that this guy here was really losing his marbles over something, and I'm gonna guess that something in this safe room will give us an idea of what he is exactly afraid of. As we can see, he's made himself a hiding spot with all these tables, and he's not coming out. He's terrified. So let's see what we can do, but before that, let's take care of some business so they will stop interrupting. Now that that's over, to the left of Emmett on this wall, we read, "When will it leave? Safe, safe." And we see that this is most likely Emmett's sleeping bag here with some canned goods, and looks like he's also has some supplies, and of course the KSC vendor box. On the wall directly next to us, we see a big sign that says "Safe." Then we see "Why." Then we see "Who says it was safe?" And it says "It won't leave." Exactly what is it? That's what we're here to find out, and I believe it's going to be what's keeping Emmett hidden in his spot. Of course, we see another sign that says "Keep the door closed." Then to the right of the door, we see "He is out there, why me?" And the clock reads just before 12, and we see another work detail sign. And right next to it, we see a new sign that says "Save ammo. Use a hammer." But seriously, if you can conserve ammo, do it. Most struggles are easy enough to take out without resorting to wasting bullets, Ren. And that's very good advice, considering it's most likely the end of the world or headed that way, and bullets are going to come in short supply. And who doesn't like a good hammer? To the right of the door, we see a very, very huge graffiti drawing of this looks like a monster, and I believe this is what Emmett and everyone is referring to in this graffiti, and it's right under it says "It will get you, when will it leave?" And I'm gonna guess something this big is not scared of everybody or anybody, and it's not gonna leave. And I believe the further we dive deep into this level, we're going to exactly see what it is exactly that will not leave. Right below it is, of course, another homemade toilet. To the right of the graffiti, we also see "You can't hide." And, you know, Emmett I don't know if you wrote all this or not, or someone else, but it says you can't hide, and this is exactly what you're doing. So if you can't hide, then what do? You're just gonna starve? It looks like actually he's been here for a while, because there's a lot of trash, there's some food and drinks, and he's got a few more cans left, so I wonder if we'll ever see Emmett again, or if he will perish here. To the right of the drawing, we also see a desk that belonged to Mr. Ricardo Pipus, and he seems to have been the branch manager of whatever this office used to be. And up above we see several pictures. Also see a certificate of appreciation for Mr. Ricardo Piper, whose desk we're at. We see another Buzz in B88 FM calendar. Right behind the desk we see several books on the bookshelf, and let's see if we can't get a closer eye on what exactly these are. We have a brown book that's it's the Roman numeral 4 word, or woe, fourth woe, J.B. Kelly maybe. Getting a closer look, the book next to it says How to Continue Broadcasting on Public Radio in Extreme Foggy Conditions. And next to it's a blue book that says How to Spin Your Head 360 Degrees While Sitting in the Bed. I don't know why you'd have that book, but I'm not all about that. Next to it we have an analysis of warfare. I feel like that'd be a very fitting book in this case, you know, because there's going to be a lot of warfare with these ridden. Of course, we have another copy of the how-to book. Then right next to it we have another how-to book that says How to Kick Butt When You Are All Out of Bubblegum. And as the old saying goes, I've come here to kick butt and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Right next to that we have just a brown book that has the word 3 on it, probably the 3rd volume of something. And then right next to that we have a red book that reads How to Kick Butt for the Lord. And you know, hey man, whatever floats your boat. Mr. Ricardo Piper has some interesting choices when it comes to reading. And looking around, that seems to be about all for this safe room. So it seems like we're going to get to meet this monster that won't leave. Let's go out there and see if we can't stir something up and figure out exactly what it is and what we can do to solve it and make it leave.
Come on then! Fight or fall!
Intel here. I'm not like
Come on then!
Oh, there it is.
I'm planning on dying today.
More haste, less speed.
Hey, hold this for me.
Fire in the hole!
Pull another.
They are here! You will fall!
No.
Need to reload!
Ouch.
Hey, I think we need to focus on this one first. Need to be more careful. Just in the nick of time!
We're gone up the time.
Okay, HR. Take this! Dead end.
As you can see, it's just as massive as it was drawn to be. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call an ogre. So right outside the safe room, it looks like we have ourselves a garden of sorts. We see various food plots with vegetables and some really nifty herb hanging bottle fence thingy, and looks like to be some water collection. So this definitely was a good little setup.
The general
we
was
have
right
here.
to want to take the fight to them. Too many civvies scared to pick up arms and follow through.
Moving on through, we see another billboard for Knapp's Solar Farm and some porta potties, which are inaccessible because of this massive spike barricade. But you know, hey, maybe it was moved there later. You also see some sheds and a ice cream truck, maybe, and signs of massive fortifications, most likely in preparation for the ogre we just faced. Moving forward, we can see what appears to be some sort of Military blockade. And the city in the background that's on fire, showing the destruction of the outbreak so far. We see various ridden along the fence trying to get in. And we also see a quarantine zone sign that says, Quarantine Zone, Contagious Disease. This is a military operation. Do not proceed without the proper authority. No one shall enter or leave premises without the proper documentation issued by the federal authorities. Trespassers will be shot. Also, we see the crater that the ogre came out of, as well as some belongings, some military supplies, and a military vehicle. See another sign that reads pre-screen personnel only. Personnel that have passed through viral pre-screening and have certified documentation may proceed to their prescribed safety zone. Violators will be shot. So we see that the military was not playing any games whatsoever. You will be shot if you do not have the proper documentation or have passed through viral pre-screening. And you know, I can't blame them, but obviously we see that this didn't hold up and this didn't work very well. Moving forward into the Fort Evans tunnel, we encounter several ridden and shredders trying to pull us in. And as we look around, we can actually see that there are several cars and ambulances and military vehicles, and the cars on fire, military barricades, and just signs of destruction everywhere. We got sandbags, and here we can see that the tunnel actually is collapsed, and looks like we got a security door coming up. Using a toolkit on it. Moving forward through the underground tunnels, we come across a specimen container, which we'll come back for. It's a mission item. It says delivered to Dr. Rogers, but there's something rattling around inside. I'm gonna guess it's a zombie head. Coming up onto the platform here, we notice a lot of sticky notes and some papers of sorts, and let's take a look and see what these are about. So this here seems to be a redo of the ones from the first level. Moving on around, we see some new ones. A big sign that says, "Don't go north. If the cold doesn't get you, the ridden will." Well, isn't that nice? Let me say, dogs can look up. Also, you're insane. I couldn't have done it without the tuna sandwich, I tell you. And I'm not a big fan of tuna sandwiches, but whatever floats your boat. Back in action, and the front door is open again, as well as a blue sticky note that says "Make it blue." Down below we read, "Heck, I was too old for this stuff 5 years ago. I miss all the memes. Whatever you do, don't take off your shoes." That's really good advice. The only thing that can redeem mankind is cooperation. I hear you. I love you, Bobby. Be safe out there, maybe. Next to that we read "Happy Birthday, Mary." And next to it we read the Z word, "Don't say it." And then next to this on a big piece of paper we read, "Susan, waited for 2 days, can't delay any longer. I'm taking the kids to Uncle Jack's. I think we'll be safe there. I love you." I hope they made it out all right. Then we see that someone's lizard died, and he says "Forever in our hearts." We see one that says "Piss Fire, Crap Thunder." We see another birthday for Duder. Oh, ow, my wrist. Someone must have got bitten. This used to be a nice neighborhood. Yeah, used to be, I'm sure. Then we read another "Do not drink the water. Bottled or boiled only. They live in the water. Hey Marty, at least you got an excuse not to bathe now." I guess Marty's a pretty stinky fella. Got another sticky note that says it's red. It says "Make it red." Then we have what appears to be the Belgian. It says "This is my boomstick," as well as "Don't trust anyone, not even family." And the other one says "Thank God for rednecks," and that's what I'm talking about. Rednecks are definitely who you want in a zombie apocalypse. And above it we read "Visit Catwell's Cornucopia. Everything you need and even more than you want," with a picture of a cat, and I'm assuming a cornucopia. I'm not sure exactly what that is, so I'm gonna go with it. So headed back into the tunnels, we come across a section with the roof exploded out and a little supply room to our left.
Well, what do you
And up ahead I actually see an ammo container, which I was excited about until I realized, oh no, a sleeper. It almost got me too. Luckily it didn't, because that would call the horde. And up ahead we see some more supplies, some shells, and another security door. and headed back into part of the tunnel that the roof exploded, we see that just how devastating this destruction is to the infrastructure of this tunnel. And up ahead here, we actually encounter our KSC room. Heading inside, we see if there's what's going to be a Super 90 on the cot here for someone if they want to take a rest from all the ridden slaying, as well as some paint, some copper, and some attachments, a hatchet, grenade, and there's always a heal station as well. As we exit, we see a snitch. Now we see no snitch.
Got eyes on a hive entrance.
As we just heard, Hoffman has spotted a hive, and we should be seeing it shortly. There it is with the sleeper guardians.
Hive over there.
Another hive.
Feels like each nest we clear, a new tunnel pop up.
Making these tunnels snake underground for miles. Right under Evansburg. Oh, path we walk on.
Do a quick run back real quick to get the mission item before we move forward and face the ogre for the second time. So this here is where your ogre is going to respawn right outside this door after I take care of this nonsense ridden here. Alright, so once you get through here, you're going to have to get the party started. So let's see if we can stir up enough trouble to call him back out.
Oh, pocketing this.
Oh, that did it. Let's get it going. Fighting our way back through.
Could come in handy.
Setting up some defenses real quick. Now right here is the best spot to take him out the second go around if you don't take him out the first time. As you can see, he can only reach him so far, and as long as you don't go past that big arch doorway right there, he can't grab you. But if you get in there, he will grab you and throw you to the end of the tunnel. But as you can see, I'm sitting here just nailing his weak spots left and right, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. He can't get to us. The worst thing he could do is send other zombies in there, and once at a certain point, they stop coming. Looks like we're about to get him. And there he goes. As you can see, he really is as massive as they made him out to be. Actually, the drawings don't even do him justice. Here he is laying beside a school bus, and he is nearly as long as the school bus. And we can actually see the little bubbly spots on him. Those are actually his weak spots. Moving forward to the tunnel, we also can see that this tunnel itself is just not in really good shape at all. But like I said, we got several school buses and cars and ambulances and military stuff buried under this rubble. I don't know what happened, but there was obviously a big battle, and the military operation that was taking place in the Fort Evans tunnel it's failed miserably. Looking forward, we see a busted out hole in the end of the tunnel. We also see that there appears we're on this big long bridge that has collapsed right past this ambulance out here. And in distance, we actually can see several vehicles on the other side of the collapsed bridge and part of the city as well. Etched in here, we come across a building that says shelter, and that's where our next safe room is going to be. And you also see the yard is full of ridden. So we need to take care of those for moving forward. Headed down into the yard, we notice this. Your typical backyard. It's got a few sheds. We actually come across a card box for safe room recovery. Entering the one shed, we find a supply box with healing items.
Could come in handy. None the worse for wear.
Headed back out, we see another camper, some trucks, a makeshift table. Also, an alarm door. I'm going to go ahead and set up a defense for that. Before moving forward, we're going to head back to a little behind the fence, and there's nothing right there, just woods. Head to the shed across the yard. We see a lot of tires, and inside the shed, we actually find some ridden that's pretending to be dead.
Take this. Ammo.
Just another old tool shed. So, kind of crazy. This is a generator on a trailer. Massive generator at that. The Power Horse 89K. You know? Big Daddy. And we're on a
Time to
porch.
go.
And if it's on a trailer, it implies that it's so heavy it has to be hauled with a vehicle. My question is this. How in the world did it get up these stairs? I mean, really. It's just, you know, something that was curious to me. Let me know what you think. Heading on down to the basement of the house with
Putting
the
this
safe
in my
room, we
pocket.
realized that
Hello?
other than being
Actually,
flooded and full of water, it
box.
just about doesn't have anything
Well,
else other than a free intel and the way to the safe room itself, which is right here. So now that we made it back to the hive, we can actually recap the story of today's events on level 2, Tunnel of Blood. As we enter the safe room, we meet a guy, and he's beckoning us to like chill out, just take what we need and get out. He's not coming out; he's terrified, and he says it's something out there that's got him terrified. And as I suspected, looking around the safe room and the graffiti on the walls, we actually find a clue that shows us this massive, ridden monster-looking thing. And up on there it says, "Why I want to leave," and it says it won't leave, and stuff like that. And so once we go outside and moving on down towards the tunnel, we actually trigger what we now know is the ogre, which is one of the few bosses of the game. And after our massive fight right after we leave the safe room, we think we take him out, but in fact he just went back underground.
Don't wanna get trapped.
And then we have to go through the tunnels, and we see
Could be all
several
sorts
military
of
operations with signs that won't let people through because of viral infections, and it looks like they're trying to get people out of the city and into a quarantine zone. We actually see that it fell massively. The tunnel's in shambles. There's stuff littered everywhere. We actually run to the ogre again, but this time we actually kill him. And we stumble upon a hive along the way, and we also come across a house with a safe room in it. And but you know, we gotta take the hive before we go to the next safe room. But if you like today's video, please like and subscribe. And any comments for any tips, I would be very thankful. Thank you, and God bless.